4, and this meeting is officially called to order. I think by taking the roll call, if you don't mind, we would also encourage yourselves to introduce your role, your position, just for the record, so that in case we're queried, we have all that available.
Anderson,
Here, and my role is a public participant, I think, or a public appointee.
Bartlett, Davist, Martin,
I'm here, and I'm the County Board's 11th District Representative.
Pierce,
Here, I'm a public appointee.
Shepro,
I'm here, and I'm the Vice Chairman of the County Board.
and Burns.
Present, and of course, I have the honor of serving as the Mayor of Geneva and accepted the honor with great humility by the Madam Chair to chair this committee. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, there are no minutes. Public comment? I don't
We
see.
have a quorum?
We do? Yes. Establish the charges and goals of the committee. My assumption is this is pretty straightforward. And that is and by all means, anyone chime in, we can waive the rules as it were, but my assumption is to review those candidates who have submitted materials for consideration to appointment to the county board to represent District 13. Anything I'm missing, Mr. Shepro?
Only that by statute, the appointment is consigned to the authority of the county board chair.
That's correct.
With the advice and consent of the board. But as has happened in other instances, the Madam Chair has chosen to invite a committee to assist in that process.
Our role then is to recommend
To me.
our advice to Madam Chair. Madam Chair will then provide that information to the county board. The county board then will vote accordingly.
Advise and consent.
Advise and consent. Very good. Anyone else wish to chime in regarding that particular issue? It is my understanding, Madam Chair, and perhaps others can chime in, the candidates we've received and the candidate that we recommend and whomever needs to be appointed must be of the Republican Party?
That is correct.
Okay, so everyone's clear on that?
Statute says
Correct.
shall be a member of the Republican Party. And since we have no party registration, nobody's quite sure what that means. But I think generally everybody has assumed that if you pulled a Republican primary ballot, that counts.
Got it.
Correct. That's correct.
We're clear with respect to the goals and the charges? Let me ask this question just for the record as well. Is there anyone present this afternoon who has any conflicts of interest they'd like to disclose or share for the benefit of and the spirit of open government? I have none, but the record showed nobody else has any either. So, meeting dates. Do we wish to assign meeting dates moving forward? My assumption is that we will need time to interview the candidates, and my assumption is also that everyone present today is interested in interviewing all the candidates.
I think maybe that's something we could discuss.
Okay,
And
Also, I think there has been at least questions raised as to the eligibility of a couple of candidates. I think in one case, we have an answer, and the other, I think unless we have an update, we might have an answer. But I know maybe it fits somewhere in charges and goals, but what is the process? Are we going to interview everybody? How are we going to do that? Some people have provided recommendations. Others have not. I think nobody wants a drawn out process. I believe, I want to put your words in your mouth, Madam Chair. You had said at one point you hoped that we could seat somebody at the July board meeting.
that is accurate. I'm hoping we'll be able to work that efficiently.
that date is July the
13th.
13th.
Is it the 13th, July 13th?
A total of 8 candidates.
Or is it
Imagine 30
earlier?
minutes with each candidate. We have to commit.
Yeah, I just have an idea that we might be able to winnow that list a little, but I guess we'll see what everybody thinks. Sorry.
That's right. Shepro still has the floor.
No,
Then I'll
Mr.
recognize Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin?
Is it unreasonable to?
Is your microphone on, John?
Yeah, I'm more comfortable if I lean back with my legs crossed.
That's
mine wasn't either.
Is it realistic to believe that we should go through this list today and create do some culling, as it were? I'm trying to think of a more gentle term, but today, and then interview a smaller group of people, having it done in one additional meeting with a recommendation to follow. I think at some point it's going to be a pretty close question as to who should be in here. And I would like to be expedient on how we handle it. And I have a question,
Yes, sir.
and that's just simply because I don't know. Is this because we're talking of specific individuals that are going to be appointed? Is this discussion appropriately
Yes.
happen in closed session?
Correct. That is accurate.
Okay.
Madam Chair, you're referencing the discussion today is,
Correct. As we move into discussing.
There's a
candidates-
specific exception
Exactly.
for
I'm aware
the
of that.
appointment, as you know, Mr. Mayor, for the appointment of a person to fill a vacancy, because there was some ambiguity at one point. The
course.
legislature said, no, that's a proper topic for a closed session.
well, without Mr.
How
Anderson.
about-
Yes, sir.
I was going to make a motion that we go into closed session for the purpose of consideration of a candidate to fill a vacancy in office of County Board District
Good.
13.
Prior to recognizing that motion, Mr. Anderson, do you have a,
Thank you. I don't object to the motion. I just wanted to say something in open session before we did that.
I'll
So
withhold my motion till.
thank you. So my understanding is that we already had a few suggested dates in the future. I do fully agree with the idea that we should vet these today. I'm ready to do that if other people are,
as a mind?
so that we could get it down to a manageable few that need interviews.
Great.
And then I'm interested in your comment that there may be some individuals here who do not qualify or potentially do not qualify. Will that be raised in closed session
Yes.
as well?
It will.
Okay.
And to also, if I may, to clarify, it is my understanding that in order to take a look at party affiliation, we have reviewed candidates who have voted in the 2019 primary election, where you have to call party, because that's the only record we have officially from the clerk's office, knowing how an individual has voted.
Well, I've done some research. I mean, you can get it from Cunningham as well, back almost forever.
Agreed.
And so I think he uses a classification system that, he'll tell you how many Republicans and Democrats, but what he bases it on is what is the last party that you pulled a primary ballot. And that could be 10 years ago. If you haven't done anything since then, you'd be an R or D, depending on what you did. But 2019 wouldn't necessarily be a good date because only Elgin and Dundee townships, and I believe the Aurora Democrats for township office had a partisan ballot. Everybody else from the township to mayor and so forth were nonpartisan. So there would be no party vote indicated by looking at a 2019 voting record.
Well, I have record from Mr. Cunningham's office, which indicates which applicant is a registered Republican and/or Democrat. So I had assumed that had come from the 29 primary.
I
But
would
if that
guess
is
in
not the
most
case,
cases, it probably is from the 2020 primary. And because I don't think,
But the
well, of course,
2020
because none of the applicants for this post are,
you're absolutely correct. My apologies. The 2019 primary meeting, I'm still in candidate mode, is when we had to go out and get at all of our petitions. So it is the 2020 primary. I stand corrected.
Anyone else, any comments, questions for the?
I'll renew
benefit of
my
open
motion.
session? Otherwise, reintroduce your motion. The motion is reintroduced. Is there a
Second.
second? There's a second by Mr. Anderson. Any discussion regarding the motion? A
Roll
voice vote,
call.
I believe, would be sufficient.
roll call.
Roll call would be even better, according to Mr. Shepro. There we go. Roll call. whenever you're ready.
Anderson,
Aye.
Bartlett, Davist, Martin,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Shepro,
Yes.
Burns.
All right. The roll call to move into executive session is approved unanimously. I will ask, just for a point of privilege, we have someone joining us remotely. I'm not certain how to handle that technologically.
Blair.
I'll go ahead and take care of that. And the person online, I think, has heard this multiple times. Please accept the invite and be aware until I give you the okay. We are still live streaming on YouTube. So when I tell you that we are officially in closed session, you can begin the conversation. Just give us a moment.
And is that Ms. Molina who is online? That's what it says. Okay, well, I don't have my glasses. What are your glasses?
I have my glasses and I can't see that far. So
Well, I'm going to say
No
that.
idea.
Yeah, these,
we're in executive session, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on.
I could take a deduction for that.
You could, no, you can't.
Contribution.
It's a fine.
No, you gotta have it.
I'll wait for our IT colleague to let us know that we are safe to entertain a motion to return to open session.
You are live again.
From the committee members, is there a motion to return to open session? Ms. Pierce makes that motion.
We made it.
We already did that.
Oh,
I
to adjourn,
was-
so to
to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Ladies and gentlemen, please note on the agenda.
So now we would then just establish a quorum is reassembled.
Correct, but please note on the agenda under item 7, that action will not be taken. I think it's important to note that. So with that, I believe this committee has agreed that our next meeting date will be,
Excuse me,
Yes, Madam
point of
Chair.
order. Roll call, please, that we're all here as a quorum
Yes.
for open
forgive me, a
session.
roll call that we're all present for and have a quorum for the open session.
Anderson,
Here.
Bartlett, Davis, Martin,
Yes, I'm here.
Pierce,
Here.
Shepro,
Jepro here.
Burns.
Present,
You have a quorum.
and we do have a quorum.
One item to bring out.
In open session, Mr.
Yes.
Shepro?
I'm a little troubled that one of our colleagues is not here. And I wonder if, frankly, if he's not going to be able to participate, we're only going to have a couple meetings. And I would suggest that maybe we talk to him, and if he does not want to participate, perhaps Madam Chair could select someone else to sit in. I'm really sort of unhappy that he's.
I will make those phone calls and follow up appropriately.
By the way, you lost Bartlett in the transcript.
Okay.
So if there's no other further business,
Yes, is there any further business for the benefit of the public?
move
Open
that we
session.
adjourn.
Motion by Shepro to adjourn.
Second.
Ms. Pierce? A voice vote is sufficient. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please indicate by saying, "Oh my God, Steve's going to be a grandpa soon."
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. We're adjourned.